What's going down? What's going down? It's your boy YTC back with another video, based on the Giants topic videos, but here we go. I've been wanting to make this video for a very, very long time. It's no secret I'm one of DJ's biggest fans, That's, regarding the Giants, I'm one of his biggest fans, but let's put that aside for now, I'm going to try to be impartial as I can with this entire, topic of Daniel Jones. I'll try to be impartial as much as I can. But before I get into this video, don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Helps the channel grow a lot, but that's besides the point. Anyway, let's get to the video. Here we go. Why Daniel Jones is underrated and why he's worth extending. I'm gonna get to the underrated part first because here's the thing about Daniel Jones. Sure, his numbers were bad. I mean, we don't count rookie years obviously because teams don't have film on rookies, so we have to disregard his rookie year, I guess. Same with other quarterbacks, and because teams don't have tape on the quarterback in their rookie years, we don't count them. So, but when you look at his second and third years, they were completely horrible. Obviously, because not just he played horrible, but also the team around was horrible. But I'm not going to go into further discussion on that. That's because it was a different regime and a different head coaching staff under the different times. But that's irrelevant to what I'm talking about now. But I just wanted to point that out. I'm well aware of his bad numbers in his second and third years. I'm well aware. Clearly, as a Giants fan, I'm well aware. But anyways, let's get to the 4 reasons why I think he's underrated and why he should be extended. Number 4. Let me pull it up. Hang on. His numbers under really bad circumstances / roster and what he brings to the table for the team. So I'm going to go pull up his numbers right now. If you look at the numbers with Daniel Jones, we go ahead and pull up. Right here. Here are his numbers under the circumstances we are under. And by circumstances, I mean we have receivers that were, according to PFF, the slowest in the NFL league. We had receivers that, were, I think, top 5 in drops. And yet Daniel Jones had to play with the circumstances. This is what he put up with those circumstances, with those receiving core, that were consistently hurt and obviously weren't on par with the NFC East. When you look at the entire East, there's not a single wide receiver on the Giants core that's striking fear in any defenses, in my opinion, and it's clear as day. Nobody's on the Giants right now currently is better than A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and nobody's better than McLaurin and whatever else they got in Washington, nor anyone better than CeeDee Lamb in Dallas. We have probably one of the worst receiving cores in the league, in my opinion. It's got to change, over time. But we're going to bring those numbers up. Obviously, look at the numbers. Obviously, you could see his numbers. He was 301, for 472 on, pass completion. He had a 67.5 completion percentage. His passing yards were 3,205 passing yards. He had 15 passing touchdowns, 5 picks, so he had a total of a 10 plus TD to pick ratio, TD to INT ratio, which is one of the best in the league right now. He only had 3 fumbles. He cleaned up on the turnovers. Same with the interceptions where they were around 10 last year. Same with fumbles, he had about 8. He cleaned it up by 5, and he averaged 6.7 average yards per throw. Rushing wise, that's where he made a lot of his moves. He had 120 carries for 708 rushing yards, 5.8 yards per carry, and 7 rushing, obviously. But 2 of those games were with the Colts, where he had 2 rushing, and then the other one with Chicago, he had 2 rushing. The rest, and then one against Detroit, and then I think the other 2 were QB sneaks, obviously. So, yeah, he had 7 rushing, overall, if you look at the numbers, these were the numbers he's put up with the circumstance. That's how bad the team around was. I mean, the majority of the reasons why he put up a lot of rushing is because, either the pocket collapsed and he was forced to run out the pocket, or, him being a dual threat quarterback is part of his game as well. That's why you see his numbers in the rushing game increase a lot, obviously. And that's what he brings to the table. When you have a guy like Daniel Jones, that he's a dual threat quarterback, that he can pass the ball, has a nice pinpoint accuracy, and can thread the needle. I've seen him make a lot of throws threading the needle. His completion percentage says otherwise with the amount of receivers we have that drop the ball on a consistent basis. You look at the numbers right there, 67 completion percentage, while having receivers that are 5th in drops and also the slowest in the league. That's impressive in its own right, and it shows he's able to thread the needle and put the ball where the receiver only can get it. It just goes to show you, the accuracy Daniel Jones has for this passing. He's an underrated passer. You look at the rushing wise, it's clear as day he's an extension of the run game, because being a dual threat quarterback means you're an extension of the run game, obviously, because when you're able to out-scramble the pocket, you're able to run read option, run designs with quarterback, read options and whatnot, triple options, especially on pistol formations. It helps the offense a lot, because when you're running outside consistently a lot, they're going to force safeties to play on the outside. And when you're having safeties cover on the outside to avoid, any suspicions for any quarterbacks, running on the outside, it's going to open up the middle to passing, and it's going to open up the middle to the run, because there's less, personnel guarding the middle because they're on the sidelines. It opens up the run game a lot for Saquon, and then it also opens up the passing game, because obviously the run opens up the pass, but it opens up the passing game up in the middle to start those crossing routes and those curl routes and those check downs to pick up the yards, to make the next down easier, to make the or just pick up the first down and whatnot. But yeah, being an extension of the run game helps the offense a lot for sure, and that's how you're able to keep moving the ball down the field, and you're able to keep picking up first downs. And also, it clearly showed, because the Giants, I think we were 7th in red zone offense, and also we were consistently down there a lot this year compared to the last few years under Jason Garrett. If anything, Jason Garrett hindered anything Daniel Jones had, if you looked at his numbers back then. Garrett's offense clearly did not work for what suited Daniel Jones' strength. And what Brian DeBall brought to the team, right? What he brings to the team is the same intangibles Josh Allen had. And when I mean intangibles Josh Allen had, I mean being two tall white dudes that are like over 6'5", 230 plus pounds, that can run the ball at lightning fast speed for such, big men their height and size. It's hard and it also makes it harder for safeties to tackle. Safeties will tell you a lot. It's harder to tackle, guys that are 6'5" quarterbacks and, they're big. They're hard to bring down. So that's also good to know. And also, Daniel Jones is one durable SOB I've seen around, taking all these dirty hits and still playing the next down. And it shows because, he played all 16 games. He didn't get he didn't get hurt and whatnot. For sure, it goes to show you how durable he is. That's also what he brings to the team. Granted, he was hurt for the last 2 years of his career. I mean, the majority was because it was a bad. It was just Daniel Jones having reckless slides. Where he just dove forward, or when he tried to do too much, play hero ball a lot. So I'll tell you one thing: he's also improved on decision making. That's why he's not forcing the ball deep as much. Especially the receivers are not going to get open. That goes to show you he's a very smart quarterback. So what Daniel Jones brings to the team is he brings an extension to the run game. He brings leadership, obviously. He also brings and which also is going to get to my next talking point, that Daniel Jones grew up and he showed his intangibles. Given the circumstances he was under, not once did I see in his press conference, not once in his press conferences I see him throw teammates under the bus, or never once did I see him I never saw him phased. I never saw him, whenever the teams dropped the ball, or, whenever they made a dumb play, he's like, I could have made a better throw. He shows a lot of level of humility. He takes accountability for when he doesn't have to. That goes to show you he's a stand-up guy for your teammates. Whenever you mess up, he'll stick up for you. That goes to show you the level of respect and humility he has for his teammates in the locker room around. He's definitely a team leader around the locker room. He doesn't, throw people under the bus, for sure. And when I mean intangibles, I mean he became a much better decision maker. He became a much better pocket quarterback. He knows how to extend plays with his legs. He knows how to extend plays on the run, and he knows how to extend, bouncing out the pocket. Giving his time for his receivers to get open so he can deliver the ball. But yeah, it goes to show you the intangible show this year, obviously, for sure. Anyways, and also why we should extend them, obviously, because he brings a lot to the run game and he brings a lot to the passing game. So we're not one-dimensional. You need a dual-threat quarterback nowadays in today's NFL. And with Daniel Jones being really one of the best dual-threat quarterbacks in the league right now, right behind Kyler Murray, Justin Fields, and probably ahead of Justin Fields, but right behind Kyler Murray and right behind Josh Allen, definitely is going to help out a lot. And also Lamar and Jalen Hurts. It definitely helps having a dual-threat quarterback that can do damage in the air and ground. I think he's our guy, though. And number 2, he's going to come back because Mara likes him, and also Eli Manning recently gave him his blessing that he said he deserves an extension. Whenever Eli Manning praises you, it's more like his word is his law, because he's obviously the greatest quarterback in Giants history. Obviously, there's no arguing with that right now with Daniel Jones. and or Eli Manning being the best quarterback. But for sure, he gave Daniel Jones his blessing. I think his word is law, and I think, and also because the ownership likes Mara. Even Mara came out admitting that they failed him. They failed him. Even they admitted that they could have done better around them. And I think they want to make amends. And plus, he did make statements about that we could make a Super Bowl run with Daniel Jones. I think he wants to live up to his word. There's no way in hell John Mara's going to let him walk out the door that easy. He's going to force the GM to pay him whatever he wants at some point. Whether it's the tag or the extension, he's going to get paid eventually. Whether this offseason or the next offseason, he's going to get paid with us, I believe. There's no doubt about it. And number 1, the contract he wants, I think, is around 35 to 40 mil. And what the 2020 class will pay, they're going to get paid. I'm talking about Justin Fields, Justin Herbert, Lamar, and Lamar's going to get paid, but I'm talking about, damn it, I lost my track of mind. But anyways, Justin Fields, Justin Herbert, and it's Justin Herbert, and I think it's Tua and Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, those 3. They're going to want it, and also Joe Burrow at some point. Trevor Lawrence was in 2020, but it was 2021, but still he's going to want to pay the, but still, eventually they're going to ask for money, obviously, because, they're going to reset the market with those quarterbacks. They're going to get to the 45 to 50 mil mark, and pretty soon we'll see the first 55 to 60 mil quarterback within the next 2 to 3 years soon, with the way the cap is rising. And also, while we're paying him now, this is the QB class we're going to pay him next to, which I want to bring up to the next part to, wrap up the video. Before, I'm going to spend the last couple of minutes, wrapping up the video with the QB class on what he would be getting paid. When you look at the over the cap, shout out to John Jay for this over the cap website. Obviously, you can see on my screen here. Anyways, you see the cap, right? This is what he would get paid around. This is the mark around 30 mil to 40 mil. And it goes up from here. This entire class from Derek Carr to all the way to Ryan Tannehill. This is where Daniel Jones would be making his average salary. You cannot tell me he deserves to be paid around the same class as Derek Carr, Matt Stafford, Dak Prescott. Definitely, probably not, or he could. But he outplayed him, in terms of less turnovers, but not touchdown wise. But obviously that's besides the point. Kirk Cousins, he beat in a primetime game, and Kirk Cousins obviously. He gets carried. He kind of does get carried by Justin Jefferson and those weapons. Jared Goff, he's pretty comparable to, but he has a well-established offense compared to what the Giants are running. Carson Wentz, he's way better than him, and Matt Ryan at this point of his career is probably better. Ryan Tannehill, he's way better at this point of his career for sure. I think he's worth all that money, especially since he offers more than these quarterbacks do. He's been more clutch than half of these quarterbacks, and also he's been more of a dual threat, so he offers more in the run game and offers more in the passing game, more than what Derek Carr, Stafford, Cousins, Goff, Wentz, and Ryan Tannehill and Matt Ryan do at this point of their career. So I think it's worth paying him all that money, to be the solution to our passing and run game, especially with the way the cap's going to reset once those quarterbacks get paid in 2020 for sure. But I said my piece. I'm not here to convince anyone. You guys can leave in the comments below what you feel about Daniel Jones. I'll take any constructive criticism I can get. Any kind of criticism is good criticism regardless, as long as it's more impartial and fair, then I can work with it. But anyways, this is your boy YTC. YTC out. Let's go Giants, and I believe in you, DJ. YTC out.